Praise the name of the Lord. It is another day that the Lord has already given us to hear His word, to hear His decree, and also to be encouraged by His word. Today, I wish to talk about the sacred things belong to God. The sacred things belong to God. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 29, Bible says, the sacred things belong to the Lord our God, but the things revealed belong to us and to our children forever, that we may follow all the words of this law. When we think about God and desire to know His secrets, you are likely to be frustrated. When you want to know all about creation, about the challenges that you are facing, likewise, you'll be equally be frustrated. In human mind, there is that emptiness and vacuum that can only be filled by God Himself. The thing that disturbs man or men of all generations, it is earnest desire to know more and more. They have their fundamental worries. Who is going to help me? Who is worthy? Who can know that? And their heart, they are dying to know more and more and more. That is the creation of man. Need to know more and more and more, particularly the daily occurrence. In the book of Revelation, chapter 5, verse 1 through verse 5, John in the island of Patmos struggled with who is worthy to break the seal. Who is worthy to break the seal? We can read together in Revelation chapter 5. Then I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a scroll with a writing on both sides, and sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a mighty angel proclaiming in a loud voice, who is worthy to break the seal and open the scroll? But no one in heaven, or earth, or under the earth could open the scroll or even look inside it. I wept, that is John, because no one was found who was worthy to open the scroll or look inside it. Then one of the elders said to me, Do not weep. See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has triumphed. He is able to open the scroll and its 7 seals. The scroll was guarded, and nobody was to know the secret in it. The content within was well secured from the public display. It was sealed with 7 seals. Number 7, usually signify perfection. Any time that you find number 7 in the Bible, it tells us more about the perfection. And another thing is that there was that seal. I highly believe that the content in that scroll was not to be counterfeited, nor broken by anybody who was not authorized by the owner to do it. It was tightly locked by perfect means. That's why we are talking about number 7. Unless you have the key, you cannot open or peep to see what was inside it. But Jesus is the only one who was having the key to reveal the secret of the scroll. Jesus is the key. Jesus has the key. Jesus is having the key even today. As you can see in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 7, he holds the key. And also Paul, later in the book of the Corinthians, chapter Because 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4, he mentioned about Jesus having the key. Also in the book of Matthew, Jesus talked about he is going to hand over the key to all believers. So the key of all things is Jesus. He is a key that can open the secret of God. No matter how secured it was from the public display, Jesus can peep in, Jesus can convey the secret things of God. It is God who has secured the scroll, so that no one can change its content. No one can change its content. You cannot change even the aorta, not even the eye in that content, because God himself have already secured the content in that scroll. Even in the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 4 and 8, we can see how the securing of the scroll was done. The concern of John is so genuine, and it can also represent the people's desire to know more about God, to know the secret of God. That's why he is asking, who is worthy to open the scroll? Who is worthy to loosen its seal? Nobody or anybody who cared to listen. That is, anybody who cared to listen was the audience of John, because he was struggling to get the attention from those who are listening. Even as today, sometimes we seek the audience, not knowing particularly the question that we are posing, who is listening, but because we have that worry, we just pose it. Whoever cares to listen can give us answer. John was in dire need of being assisted, to know the content inside that scroll. The challenge was, it was locked. The challenge was, it was locked. The challenge to his desire is that the content inside the scroll was God's will and judgment, as we can see later in the chapter that follows chapter 5 of Revelation. That's why the will of God and his intended judgment to his people must be guarded. It's only Christ who is in the position to open or to reveal the content. John was hopeless that no one was able to open the scroll and read it. Nobody even today knows the purpose of creation unless Jesus himself revealed to him. Nobody knows even today what is there for us, or what the plan of God has for us, even in this pandemic that we are facing. But Jesus knows the answer. It is only through divine revelation that we can get the answer of the question of the current pandemic, the sound of wars that we are hearing, the crime all over, the things that are challenging our life that cannot be explained. Jesus can explain to us. It is only Jesus who can give us the answer, because some of things need divine revelation. Divine revelation is the one that we need to seek, so that the God himself can reveal to us what is counsel, what is decree to us. So when the counsel of God is hidden from the eyes and the understanding of man, it is revealed only through Jesus Christ, who is our Savior. John was weeping and asking, who was worthy to open? Who was worthy to open? It is the same with the Christian today. People desire to see and know more about God. We have that desire to know more and to understand even every action of God. But unless God himself revealed to us, we cannot understand him. We cannot even know his ways, as likely he said in the book of Isaiah, that his ways are far away from us, like heaven and earth. So when people are constantly weeping, when their answer is not given instant, their level of patience usually very low, because they want the instant answer. That's why they have sorrow and grief pertaining to the action and the deed of God, pertaining to things that they want to know about God, or to know about his ways and to know about his will. When it's delayed a bit, they grieve, they have sorrow, because people are seeking things that are beyond their world and beyond what they can explain, beyond human explanation. Frustration come in when they yearn and unfulfilled, when they have things that they are earning but cannot be fulfilled. They are frustrated. Human beings are known to struggle to understand, one, how to have a perfect knowledge and truth. How to have perfect knowledge and truth. They keep seeking explanation. Why that? Why that? There is unconscious, innate desire for full explanation of any challenge in everyone or in every situation. You want explanation. You want to understand the truth about it. But true satisfaction will occur when Christ reveals the truth of God. Similarly, that innate desire is seen when Apostle Paul was struggling to understand power behind Christ's resurrection. I want to know the power behind Christ's resurrection. He said that. He had that desire to understand the power behind Christ's resurrection. Is that innate desire is with everyone, but unless God himself reveals, we cannot understand. It seems the best explanation to our urge to have knowledge of God or about God is our conscious desire of perfect truth has been written in human nature by God himself. So it's not by default. It's God have already put that emptiness that he is ready to fulfill. Number two, the people are desiring of knowing God's justice versus his goodness. Knowing God's justice versus his goodness. There is a common slogan with people today: it's not fair. God's justice cannot be realized by man who lives in the imperfect world. We cannot realize God's justice when we are still living in an imperfect world. It is only God who is perfect that can reveal it to human beings. Not all, but partially as he wishes. He reveals his justice. He reveals his judgment partially as he wishes, because he is the Lord. Number three, we Christians, we desire to understand peace and harmony. We desire to understand peace and harmony. That's why we constantly shed ignorant tears for the incapability of human beings to know God's will. We are not capable to know God's will. While John was comforted by one of the 24 elders in heaven, he was told, it is only the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, who was able to open the content of the scroll. The credential given by the elder fit well the Messiah, the Christ, the revealed God. So the revelation of the will of God can only occur through divine process. Revelation is a matter of divinity, not a matter of the mechanical things of human being. It is a matter of divinity. So unless God himself reveals to us how to have peace and harmony in this disturbing world, we cannot understand. Coming back to the Lion of the tribe of Judah, Jesus is a lion, a symbol of majesty, power, and dominions. Jesus triumphant. He is also a mighty warrior. A few weeks ago, we were talking about the sovereignty of God as revealed in Jesus Christ. So Jesus himself, being God, is powerful. He is majesty, and he is all-wise God. So the solution of the world problems can only be found in the person who is both the lion and lamb, that is Christ. Those who know Christ will not wait forever, but they are supposed to wait patiently for revelation of things that are disturbing us. Today, I want to highlight 3 things. 1, we only know the will of God only that he had revealed. The only thing that we know about his will is only that he has revealed. What he wants us to know at particular moment. The secret belongs to God. Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 29. The secret belongs to God. And what he has already revealed to us is only thing that we know. There is that incomprehensible nature of our God that our mind is limited to grasp or to understand him unless he reveals. Number 2, God revealed himself through the person of Christ. In the book of John, chapter 1, verse 1, in the beginning was Word, and the Word was with God. And also chapter 14, the same John, he said, I am anyone who knows me, know the Father who has sent me. So we know God through his person, Jesus Christ, who was given to us, and who is with us, and who we can enjoy because it's Emmanuel, God with us. God always, God's ways are not our way. Likely said by Isaiah chapter 40, verse 18. It is up to us to fit into his will, not God to fit in our will, but us, the men, the finite man, to fit onto the infinite God. Number 3, what is within our knowledge and what we do not know belong to God. What is within our knowledge and what we do not know belong to God. So we cannot say that all what I know is all what God is. All what I know is all that men know is that you can equally say that is all the might of God. We cannot understand the might of God. We cannot understand his way because we know part, just a part. There are many things that we do not know about him. When you go to the book of Job, he was posing some question to us. Who knows where the foundation of earth lies, who knows the pillar that holds the earth, and many things that he is asking us. Solomon, likewise, the proverb and also in the Song of Solomon, talked about the many sacred things that man cannot understand about God. So even as we continue to think about the pandemic that we are facing right now, we are not supposed to struggle to understand all, or the plan or the process that God is planning to save us. But the good thing is when we know that he knows all things, he is all wise, we are supposed to praise him. We are supposed to continue serving him. We are supposed to continue in righteousness so that he may reveal his will to us through his son Jesus Christ. So the challenge that John was having, who is worthy to open, and the content of the scroll was solved by the presence of the Lion of Judah, Jesus Christ. Even as the challenge that we are facing today is going to be solved by the person Jesus. Shall we pray? We thank you, dear Jesus, for being the person who is worthy, who has power, who holds the key to reveal the sacred things that belong to God. We are weeping, we are crying, we are mourning, we have sorrow, and we are grieving. But through you, Jesus, you are the only one who can comfort us by telling us everything will be all right. Speaking to us this day, we are so grateful because we know that you are going to walk with us and you are going to help us. For we pray in Jesus' holy and mighty name. Amen. God bless you and do you good. Let us continue interacting through my org.in and through my YouTube channel, Leveler Geoffrey Kalogo. God bless you and do you good. Amen.